Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Noah's NFL Weekly Preview, the Thanksgiving special. Now, I'm not going to keep you all long today. I know it's Thanksgiving. Well, first of all, I know you guys can see my tree in the background. So what we're going to do today is talk about it was supposed to be 3 games to be played on Thanksgiving for the NFL, but it'll just be 2 out of 3 games playing. But we're going to talk about the third game anyway because it's a key matchup that everybody should be looking for. Okay? But before we talk about that, before we talk about the 3 teams, we have to talk some playoff probabilities here for all the teams right now in the NFL. So we're going to break it down AFC and NFC conference. We're going to start with the AFC first. So here you go in the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the top seed right now, of course, 10-0. Right behind them are the Chiefs, 8-1, followed by the Bills and the Colts, tied at 7-3. So are the Titans and the Browns, 7-3 as well. And then you have the Las Vegas Raiders as the last seed right now at 6-3. Now, because there's 7 teams that'll be going in the postseason this year, there will be 3 wild card matchups and only 1 first round bye. All right, same thing for the NFC. Oh, sorry. First of all, we're going to talk about the teams that are in the hunt. You got the Ravens and the Dolphins. They're both at 6-4. Broncos and the Patriots at 4-6. So I highlighted the Ravens and Dolphins because those are the 2 teams that could possibly still try to get their way into the postseason. It's getting a little bit late for the teams that only have 4 wins. So I'm not sure. They got to get it together though before this season is up. All right, so now we're going to go to the NFC. So the New Orleans Saints are the top seed right now in the NFC at 8-2. Rams and the Packers tied at 7-3. The Eagles with a losing record of 3-6-1, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, and they're still in first place in the NFC East. Seattle is 7-3. They're the 5 seed. Tampa Bay is the 6 seed at 7-4. Arizona Cardinals are 6-4 as well, or 6-4. And they're the last seed right now in the NFC. In the hunt right now, you got the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, and the 49ers. There are more teams that are in the hunt, but we're just going to put those main teams there for now because I think they have a possibility to try to get their way into the postseason. But like I said, it's really getting late in the season, and the teams with only 4 wins, they have to get it together. The Chicago Bears, by the way, look, they're 5-5. They started out, I believe, 5-1, and they lost 4 straight games, and now they're an average team. All right. So the first game though that's coming on for Thanksgiving today on the NFL is the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. Now both of these teams aren't really playing their best right now this season. Oh, that game is at 12:30 p.m. on CBS. We're going to talk about playoff probabilities for both of these teams. So first of all, you guys, the Houston Texans only have a 1% chance of winning, or of getting to the postseason. I mean, they only have a 1% chance of getting to the playoffs. Their record is 3-7, of course. Now listen to this. They beat the Patriots though last Sunday, 27-20. This is their first their first win against a non-divisional opponent, I should say, since Week 16 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. Because their first 2 wins only came in their division against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Detroit Lions, it doesn't get any better for them either, because they only have a 4% chance of making it to the postseason, you guys. Just a 4% chance. They didn't even put up any points last week against the Carolina Panthers. They're looking for their first points in the last 2 weeks. They're somewhat still alive in the playoffs, but once again, like I said, it is getting late in the season. You guys, we have to get it together. The NFL teams need to get it together. They need to now realize that the time is ticking, the months are going by, and they're still sitting up here with 3-4 wins. Gotta get it together. Let's talk about the remaining schedule for both of these teams. So for the Detroit Lions, in order for them to make the postseason, they have to not only win out, but they have to also, other things are going to have to happen with other teams losing and winning, beating this team. but you got to focus on winning first of all. So, like, the next 3 weeks after this game against the Texans, the Lions have the Bears, the Packers, and the Titans. It's really tough to go into Chicago and beat the Bears, especially in December. It's really cold down there. They got to beat the Green Bay Packers. I'm not sure if they'll do that. They have to go into Tennessee, and then they got to play the Buccaneers in Week 16, and then they wrap it up at home against the Minnesota Vikings for Week 17. It's tough for the Detroit Lions. The Lions have been bad for years, but you guys, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We just have to wait and see what happens, right? The Houston Texans, their remaining schedule. After this game today, they go against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a great team right now. They're like the top team right now in the AFC. One of the top teams, actually, I should say. And then they have to go to Chicago. Again, like I said, it's hard to go into Chicago and beat the Bears in December. And then they got to play the Colts again. Again, like I said, they're a good team. They're in first place right now in the AFC South. And then they got to go against the Bengals. I think that should be an easy win for Houston. And then they have to wrap it up against the Tennessee Titans, who are playoff contenders as well. So it's not easy for both of these teams, you guys. It's not easy at all. But that game is today at 12:30 p.m. on CBS. All right, real quick. Next game is the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, first of all, these two teams are in the NFC East, so that's including the Eagles and the New York Giants. Now, real quick, we have to look at the NFC East right now. Look at the standings. Every team right now in this division only has 3 wins, you guys. Just 3 wins. This division is terrible. The Eagles are in first place with a 3-6-1 record. One because, the one that's in their record was a tie against the Cincinnati Bengals back in Week 3. The Dallas Cowboys and the Washington football team, this win, whoever wins this game will be in first place in the NFC East with a 4-7 record. Okay? Now, these two teams already played earlier in the year. The Washington football team defeated the Cowboys 25-3. 25-3 back in week number 7. The Cowboys had 142 total yards, I believe, that day. That was the fewest since week 1 of 2001, you guys. And with Andy Dalton back for the Dallas Cowboys as their quarterback, they have a better chance of winning. For Washington, if you're Washington, you got to use your running backs. Use the rookie Antonio Gibson. And Alex Smith, he must throw for a lot of yards. And you got to throw some touchdowns against this Cowboys team. The Vikings did that. They went back and forth last Sunday against the Cowboys, but somehow Dallas was still able to hold on and win that game last week, 31-28. I believe that was the final score. But again, like I said, this is a battle for first place in the NFC East. Anyone can win this division. Anyone. If you're a Washington fan, you probably want to see them win the division and probably go far into the postseason, especially without them having a name. Okay, let's talk about the remaining schedules. Washington and Dallas, their remaining schedule. Washington has to go to the Steelers. Tough one after this game today. Then in San Francisco, they got to try to beat the Steelers on the road and beat the 49ers on the road. Then they come home for the next 2 games against Seattle and Carolina, and then they wrap it up in Philadelphia. The Cowboys, they have to go into Baltimore, try to beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Then in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. They're home for the next 2 games against the Niners and the Eagles, and they wrap it up at MetLife Stadium against the New York Giants. And this is probably going to be the game of the week, hopefully. Now, Ravens and Steelers week. This game was actually canceled tonight at 8:20. It's going to be scheduled for Sunday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Now, the Steelers, first of all, defeated the Ravens 28-24 back in Week 8, correct? Now, let me tell you something before we even get in with this scenario. It doesn't matter what the record is between these two teams. This is a classic rivalry. It's Ravens-Steelers. It doesn't matter if the Ravens were 10-0 and the Steelers were 6-4. It didn't matter if the Ravens were 4-6 and the Steelers were 0-10. It doesn't matter what the record is. It's Ravens-Steelers week. It's a classic rivalry. It's been going on for a long time. So don't say well, we have a better record than them. I mean, we beat them last time. It's Ravens Steelers week. What do you expect? It's always going to be high scoring. There's never going to be like a blowout or anything, unless the team is really bad that year. I don't know. Two main things about this game. The Steelers can close out the division if they win 3 more games. Okay? Now, I thought they would clinch the division if they actually win this game against the Ravens. But they have to win 3 more, I believe. The Ravens' playoff hopes are in danger right now. They need this game. It's starting to get late in the season, just like I said for the other 2 games. It's getting late in the NFL season right now. All right, I got to hurry up, you guys. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, their chance of winning out is a 5.6% chance of winning, like, the rest of their games. They have to play the Washington football team, then the Bills, then the Bengals, Colts, Browns. The Colts and the Bills could be losses for the Steelers. Who knows? The Ravens, their remaining schedule: Cowboys, Browns, Jaguars, Giants, Bengals. Probably the tougher one, it'll probably have to be the Cleveland Browns, because let's take a look at this AFC North standings right now. You got the Steelers at 10-0, the Browns at 7-3, Ravens at 6-4. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. It's a possibility that maybe all three of these teams could get into the postseason. How? Again, a lot of things need to happen in order for that to happen, in order for all 3 of these teams to get into the postseason. Well, the Steelers are already going in. They're 10-0, but I'm talking about Cleveland and Baltimore. They have a question mark, because those 2 teams still need to play again for the second time this year. And that'll be a Monday night game, I believe, in week number 14. Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns. All right, but again, the Ravens-Steelers matchup was postponed to Sunday, so it'll be Sunday at 1:15 p.m. on NBC. Yeah, 1:15 p.m. Sunday, not tonight, because it has been postponed. And real quick before we leave, here are some key matchups to look forward to this Sunday. So you got the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots, 1 o'clock Sunday on Fox. Kyler Murray versus Cam Newton. Both of those teams are still trying to fight their way into the postseason. Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. Those 2 teams just played, I think 2 Thursday nights ago for Thursday Night Football. Colts won that game. You got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. I believe this is their 3rd time. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, I believe so. I think this is their 3rd time playing against each other. They played last year when Brady was still with the Patriots, and then the AFC Championship game back in 2018. And then Sunday Night Football, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. All right, so those are the key matchups that I think to look forward to this Sunday. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So those were the 3 games. That supposed to be 3 games on tonight or today for Thanksgiving, but it'll just be 2 out of 3 games today, because the Ravens-Steelers game postponed until Sunday at 1:15 p.m. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thanksgiving and have a wonderful next 3 days off before we have to go back to school again on Monday. All right, so you guys take care out there. Eat a lot of turkey, watch a lot of football, spend time with family and friends, Zoom calls. I don't know, whatever it is that you guys like to do during the holidays. All right, so my name is Noah Eaton, and I'm signing out, and I will see you guys in my next video on Noah's NFL Weekly Preview. All right, peace out, guys. It was fun.